This episode was brought to you by Metallic Dice Games, your source for premium, snazzy-looking gaming dice. Get 10% off dice and dice accessories on metallicdicegames.com with our code TRIALS10. They have a bunch of gemstone, plastic, and metal dice, tons of variety, tons of beautiful stuff. Go check it out. And again, don't forget to use code TRIALS10 to get 10% off. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 200 of Trials and Trebuchets. For the 200th time, am your dungeon master, Luke, and joining me are my players, whose names are...
Hello, this is Agent 200, checking in, registering ID, and I play the level 10 gnome wizard, Windsor Wallaby, along with his cunning little companion, Mr. Wiggles.
Meow 100.
Hi, I'm ancient because I'm 200 years old. It's me, Carla, and I play the level 10 Tiefling Roguelock Integrity Idol Berry. Bailey don't know Warlock's getting shot by their patrons. Fuck! Doing something so evil. Integrity saving it with her friends on it. Yeah, we'll bring her down slowly.
Sarah Smith.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Mira Marchand. And
Hi, Mira.
It's happening!
Is Sarah
Oh, she's
dead?
here to hurt us! She's gonna beat us up!
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 10 half-elf bard. 200 Wildcliff Trials and Trebuchets sessions.
Oh my gosh.
200 episodes for the whole world to hear. 200 Wildcliff Trials and Trebuchet sessions. Rule-breaking students and magical spheres. Through hatches, through rat chefs, through witches and insurrections. Oh, Blacksons, beholders, snake bites severe. It's 200 Wildcliff Trials and Trebuchet sessions. We've been at school for a whole 3 years.
You made me
Amazing.
cry, you
Incredible.
monster.
Crying? Luke's crying.
Aww.
It was too
His
low,
nose is
so we had
red.
to backpedal. We had to backpedal. Hi, I'm
Aw.
Sam, and I play the level 10 human sorcerer, Saranep Cinderman. Still alive. I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but we're still gonna fuck shit up.
Luke, it's too
I'm
early
good.
for Rudolph to come.
Who?
What?
How dare
Rudolph,
you?
'Cause
my
like,
face
I
is
can
all
just
red.
see how red his nose is.
Oh.
But it's not Christmas
I
yet.
get it. It's a funny Christmas joke.
You're making fun of him for crying. I get it now.
And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, Mira went up against Bailey Blue and shut down every argument the event planning committee Prez made. On the back foot, Bailey tried to enchant the audience and attack his competitors, but the students sprung to action and stopped him and a horribly ill Efrosini from hurting a single hair upon anyone's head. Our Lady of the Deep's magic suppressed on her warlock. They dragged Bailey off to insulate his mind from her influence in the Bonzales Cannon Lab. Oh, give me a moment.
Hang in there.
Oh, this is gonna be a rough one. We open on a very thick wooden door. Its lock being picked. We hear a very insulated and not echoey click from within this very, very cluttered and cramped room. As a door springs open, we see Integrity Idleberry, the one picking the lock, followed quickly behind by Windsor Wallaby, Saranep the Cinderman, Mira Marchand, Saranep Cinderman pulling on the half tied up body of Bailey Blue, Mira Marchand walking in, and behind her a large hand holding the wonderful upper ear Efrosini. The lot of you crowd into this room, and you can slam this thick door behind you. The walls are thick and well insulated for the noise and who knows what else in this room. There is against the back wall, a rack of what once had a lot of gunpowder or black powder in it, and what you see now has maybe one small barrel in there. Who knows? Maybe because some students took it and did some wild shit with it last year that they just keep a lower supply now. In the middle of this room, there's a bunch of tables with fairly cleaned up workspaces and just kind of like some old books on, mundane styles of engineering left open. There's big stools to sit down on these. And to the right, the room extends. There seems to be a range with large haystacks at the far end and 2 cannons set up to shoot at them. There's that side room that is kind of attached here is maybe 30 feet long. There seems to be one very large cannon with wheels and a wooden base. It's probably 7 feet long and made of cast iron. The other one is much smaller. It looks almost as if something to be handheld, but you're not cannon aficionados, so you're not 100% certain of this. Also with you, as I already said, was Bailey Blue. He's slumped over. He looks exhausted. There's a little impish creature of light brown with little wings sitting on his head, pulling at his hair, as if trying to make him, do his bidding or cooking or something, like some rat-like creature. Who knows? And then Efrosini is kind of like almost asleep, very much retching a little bit. Both of these people have brass circlets on. And I'll turn it over to you. What are the 4 of you students doing in here?
Okay, first things first, we have to secure Bailey and Efrosini, right? Like, we have to keep them from being able to do anything.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
I mean, I think we should probably just tie them up, right? I mean, because if the spell kind of wears off and takes control again, I don't want them to be able to hurt anybody. You have rope, right, Integrity?
You don't even have to ask that question. And then I take a couple of them from my boot
Collection
From
from
my
your
col-
boot.
From my boot.
Okay.
Like how clowns just pull random shit from their
Sleeves and shit?
from their cuff.
I have
Yeah,
nothing
I'm
under my
just
sleeve.
I'm just
Integrity.
gonna pull a rope
From-
from my shoes.
Not utilizing the fun spell of the same kind, you do pull rope from an unknown, possibly ethereal source within your boot, enough so that you could, if you would like, tie Efrosini and Bailey Blue up. Bailey Blue is already, his hands are tied, his shoelaces are still tied together. Could you describe for me, just for the sake of understanding what you would like, could you describe to me how you tie these people up? I assume you'll, put them on the floor, put them on a stool?
Integrity will start gesturing towards how big is the cannon?
One of them is 7-ish feet long and large, big and heavy. The other one's handheld.
So, in the big one, can humans fit inside them?
Oh my.
No, I would say that humans cannot fit inside of it. That is a wild thing to ask, quite frankly. It is very narrow, big enough for a cannonball to fit, and no larger.
Okay, never mind then.
While Integrity's looking around the room, I would like to
Yes.
go over to the 2 individuals because, obviously, component pouches exist and that kind of stuff. I want to take all of any magic inducing things off of their persons and move it as far away from them as possible in the room.
As you look over, Bailey Blues is quite easy to do. You find that he has a weird flat rectangle. It's copperish and brassish. It looks, there's inscriptions and runes written upon it. Some sort of enchanting focus of a kind. You can very quickly pocket that, and then you can go over to Efrosini and kind of go through her things. You find that she has very little on her person at all. She has her robe. All of the pockets are emptied, and she seems to have all of her personal effects seem to have been taken by something else already, Sarah.
Okay.
But you can absolutely steal Bailey's little enchanting focus.
Absolutely.
And pocket that or throw it on the floor.
I'm pocketing
and
it.
Stomp on it if you would like. Absolutely, you pocket it. Integrity Adelberry, have you decided where these people are being tied up?
To answer your question about how these people will be tied up.
Yes.
They're going to sort of be like mummies, where their hands and their legs are just can't be moved.
Okay, so you're going to wrap rope
A
around
full
their
body
bodies
rope.
as much as possible. Okay.
Yes, as much as possible.
Okay. and then just flop them on the ground.
Are you guys seeing like anything that we can put them inside, so that they can't see or do anything?
I mean,
obviously we want them to breathe still.
I mean,
Yeah.
blindfolds exist.
Yeah, I have like my handkerchief to like we can like fold that up and like.
Yeah, that should be
I
fine.
mean that covers one person, but like it does something. We don't have to
You
like.
guys can rip robes and
Yeah.
do whatever you need to. If you would like, you can grab Bailey's robe and just rip the hem of it and blindfold one of these. You can take Sarah's old, gross handkerchief and cover the other's eyes. And you can just like tie them up like mummies and flop them on the ground.
I'm so sorry that we're doing this, but this is for your safety and everyone else's safety. We promise we'll get you out of here. We're not planning on doing anything bad to you.
Efrosini seems despondent. She seems she groans slightly as you guys lower her to the ground. I presume not just like throwing her as a prisoner.
No, we want to be like humane about
Yeah.
it.
Of course.
We're going to very politely tie these people up and gag and
Of
blindfold them.
course. She doesn't
Every
seem
couple
to
times we say we're
respond
sorry,
with
as you tie them
anything.
up.
She doesn't respond to you, Integrity, with anything other than like groans, almost like she's in pain still. And Bailey, as you tie him up, lets out like deep sighs of just like, I don't know, whatever you want to interpret it as, exhaustion, just the air of maybe giving up, the air of not having a chance. You're uncertain. But you tie these people up and can sit them on the ground, blindfolded and all tied up. What would you like to do now?
All right. This may be a bit of a long shot, but Integrity, you remember that Modron that went up into the divination tower that we saw before, and they were holding the rat?
Yeah. What do you want from them?
I wonder if we could see about heading to the archives and like asking the Modrons to sort of help. I feel like
because they don't have brains.
well, I guess I don't really want to piss them off any more than I already have. So I'll just put it lightly and say,
I don't tell them the reason, but
they don't have organic brain capacity, I suppose. But the point is, it seems that these Modrons obviously see the cranium rats as a threat. So if we maybe try and convince some of them that we know the location of the source of all of it, maybe they could come along and help us deal with the situation?
yeah, that makes
I mean,
sense.
it's worth a shot, right? Like, the worst thing they can say is no.
Exactly, and you're on their good side now, so I don't see why they would say no to you.
Right. And I feel like there would be extra incentive about, there was a lot of knowledge that was stolen from the archives, and a lot of the rats were responsible for that, so maybe they are ones to hold a grudge.
Ooh.
So they might want to go on a bit of a revenge quest if we ask them to come help us and get rid of the problem at its source. That's just one thought.
We're gonna do more smear campaign. Didn't you try to do that, Mira?
No, I mean, I wasn't smearing anyone. I was just, standing up for myself and explaining why I was the best candidate, and I will continue to be.
You hear Bailey kind of mutter a bit on the ground, and he'll say, I mean, you did lie to all those people still, though.
Okay, yes, that's fair, I did. But counterpoint, shut up. Okay, so let's see. Modron's for sure. And then I guess, do we just go down there and see if we can take her?
Well, I was also thinking that I was just trying to think of ways that we could maybe sort of deal with something like that. We saw that she was in her own little like glass sort of container, like what Merrick was in, if you remember, like in that floating area full of that brain fluid, it looked like. So I wonder if we could do something similar to what happened to Merrick. If we could probably separate the lady from her
The deep?
brain fluid tank, or maybe break it in some way. Maybe that might help us in the long run.
That's smart.
I feel like the archives might have something similar to that. Maybe like a thunder-based spell, maybe.
I've got some thunder-based magic. We can
I
look
definitely
for
have
more.
thunder-based magic, yeah.
I think the more tools that we have at our disposal, the better we'll be. So we could probably kill 2 birds with 1 stone while we're at the archives if we do that.
Okay,
Sounds like a good idea.
let's do it. Let's fight a giant brain.
You're not gonna win, Bailey says from the ground.
We've won against a lot of stuff.
We know that our adversary is probably way more powerful than we are, but we gotta try something. We just have to try.
And so you're just gonna leave me and Efrosini here to rot and wait for you guys?
you're not gonna be stuck in here forever. We're gonna.
She did something to her and to a few others that I don't know.
This is your mess, okay? Look, if we leave and, temporarily dispersing whatever happened to you wears off, then you're gonna be trying to kill people again, and we don't want that to happen while we're trying to deal with it. She'll die, we'll deal with it, and then you should be fine, we'll come get you. It'll just be a few hours,
We have to take the risk. There's no other way, really.
She took everyone in the HSE. It was a trap, and then she took some of them, and I listen to me when I'm telling you this. She did something to them. She put something in them.
Like what Nefrosini threw up at the...
Yeah, like that.
So do you think they'll be down there too when we fight her?
I don't know. She has control. She had control over me. She had control over Efrosini. I don't know if she had control over anyone else, and she just let them loose on campus. There could be people like Efrosini walking around and just people waiting in the wings to, I don't know, throw something up again or use whatever thing she put in them for her purposes.
Then we really can't afford to wait, can we?
All the more reason why we should really, really get going and stop this as soon as possible.
Yeah. We have to, when we fight her, if she does control anyone, we have to make sure to figure out how to incapacitate them without hurting them. And I'm sure we can do that. I have magic to make people stand still. We can control people in that way. It's something to be aware of, but it's not going to stop us.
If you're still connected to her, then there's nothing you can do. You have the circlets and those helmets on. He says this with his eyes still blindfolded, and he goes, I don't know how much they'll help. I think she'll just take them off you somehow. She can control things with her mind. She could just rip them off your head or crush your heads with them in them. Like, just because you can go and break the tank. I don't think that's. And his face as you watch him makes like a pained expression. You already asked him if she had any weaknesses, and he kind of like was hurt as a result of this. And as he says this now, as he goes, it's not gonna, if you break her, and his like face grimaces in pain once again, and you see a little purple shock go around his head. I'm just trying to help. I know I made this worse than it was. I started this mess, but I don't want anyone else to get hurt. I want to help undo what I did.
Are you saying that there is something that you can do to try and defeat her?
I don't know if there's anything I can do to try to defeat her. I think she'll just kill me if she sees me again. I don't know. I can only say they put things in people, and she's so much stronger than you think. She knows so much more than you think she does. She's connected to me. She's connected to everyone else in the HSE. There's other people on campus that she connected to. She can see inside of our minds. She can know everything we know just with a quick glance at us. She killed my friend Yakov in less than a second. And I get that you guys are stronger than him or me, maybe, but I just don't think you know what you're really going up against.
Where have I heard that one before?
We don't have a choice.
Can I pull my friends away from this blindfolded Bailey and whisper to them?
Yeah, you left Bailey and Eversini over by like that little cannon range, and you can pull your friends over nearer to like the door around the corner and have a quiet conversation.
Okay. So, I know that this might sound stupid, but of all the people in this room, maybe in this school, there's something that Bailey knows, like, is the weakness of the Lady of the Deep, but they can't say it out loud. Do you think we should give him a chance to prove himself, or just keep him here?
The problem is, again, like, the moment that she has control again, it's going to be more difficult for us. I mean...
I have something that might help avoid the whole talking thing. Although I'm gonna pull out the mind reading potion from way back when.
That you bought
Oh,
during
fuck.
the Autumn's
Yeah.
End market from the merchant Betula, who may or may not even exist in this potentiality anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh shit, is Betula
We could try
dead?
using this. Like,
Oh, that's so smart.
there's nothing about him thinking about something, thinking about a weakness. So why don't one of us should probably do it?
Being a mind reader with a mind reader. I love it.
I don't think it should be me, just in case that makes a link, because I'm the only one who isn't in that. So I think keeping me
Right.
out of that might be safe in case.
I can do it.
Oh.
Are you all right with doing that?
To try and find out what Bailey, like what's going on inside Bailey's head. I mean, if that is something that could help us and help him, maybe, then I am willing to take that chance. I don't really know how it works, though.
I mean, thinking about it, I mean, she probably already looked at all of your memories and stuff. So as long as there wasn't anything big you guys learned about between putting on those helmets and now that you wouldn't want to share.
Mm-hmm. As long as Bailey doesn't know the fact that one of us is reading his mind and we get him back on the topic of the weaknesses and stuff, it's probably the best chance that we got to really figure out the weaknesses. It could
Let's do it.
backfire, but it's one way we can do it.
Okay.
So, Winsler, is this just a potion of detect thoughts?
I believe it is. I just wrote down mind reading potion. I didn't think this was ever going to come up. I'll be honest.
Well, that's like the best thing.
A potion of mind reading. When you drink this potion, you gain the effect of detect thoughts with the save DC of 13.
Oh.
The potions, yeah. We can change that. It'll use your spell save DC.
Okay.
Instead. So, Integrity's going to drink this.
That seems to be the plan.
Yes.
Okay.
I will hand Integrity the mind reading potion.
By all means, Integrity. Windsor hands you this small flask of liquid. You can look at it for a few seconds. It's like a foaming, frothing purple, probably like just a shot of potion.
Might be
right?
old.
Bit old, stale. The seal is unbroken, and there's a cork in the top. You can, if you would like, walk back over towards Bailey Blue. Are you going to do anything to prepare before drinking this potion?
No. I'm just gonna breathe in deeply, maybe brace, my mind is strong, it's fortitude,
Okay. You drink this potion quickly, and I presume would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Bailey Blue.
Yes.
Okay. As you drink this liquid, your mind begins to feel outside. You can almost feel this through your brain, like the edges of your helmet, if that makes sense. This gold and silver contraption Winsler put upon your head. You almost feel the edges of that, and you can feel out. You see, like in your mind's eye, you can sense the minds of 3 other people in this room. You cannot sense, I'll tell you, you cannot sense in this moment Mira's mind or Winsler's. But you can kind of see Serenepth, Efrosini's, and Bailey Blue's.
Okay.
They're kind of dull, if that makes sense, almost like a dull pulse on someone who's unconscious or dying, but they are still there. Mira and Winsler's minds are completely absent, though, not even like a pulse, not even like a glow in your mind, and you can cast Detect Thoughts on Bailey.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, it's because Winsler and Mira are stupid. Integrity Adelberry. For the
Yes.
duration, you can read the thoughts of Bailey Blue.
Mhm.
You can focus your mind. You know the initial kind of surface level thoughts if you were to speak to him and things that pop into his head. But he would have to make a wisdom saving throw if you probe deeper into those thoughts and try to pry into his mind. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, what would you like to say to him?
So when did it all start?
I took that Oblex, a little piece of it, when my mentor wanted to dispose of it, and you guys know the story with that. After it died, she came to me in a dream one night said that she gave the oblex to my mentor as a gift. I think she was trying to get him into the network or in the position I am now, and I didn't follow up on it. I didn't try to make contact with her. I tried to ignore it and push it away until Mira brought up the election just a couple days ago. And when I went looking for her in my dreams, she was right there waiting for me. She promised me ample power to defeat my foes, wisdom to defeat them, is what I thought. I thought she would just, I don't know, help me. I didn't think she would hand me a knife and tell me to kill them, to compel me to kill people. I just wanted a mind greater than my own to show me the way. Integrity. As he says this to you, as you probe at his mind from a surface level kind of vantage point, you see kind of like, you feel these emotions of like being betrayed, being misled. You see this kind of the thoughts of, like when he mentions Oblex, like these feelings of shame, the fact that he couldn't handle it by himself maybe, or the fact that you guys got drug into it, or the fact that you guys found out and can use that as like a point of leverage over him. You're not certain what that shame is coming from. When he mentions how he reached out for her as soon as Mira brought up the event planning election, you feel a lot of almost fear, arrogance, if that makes sense. This feeling that he was in control, right? This feeling that he wanted to remain in control.
Yeah. I can see that everything happened so fast, and I totally understand like how that feels, feeling like you're out of control. And I think I want to key into that sense of fear to try and read into what causes that fear in connection to what the Lady of the Deep is capable of and its weaknesses.
Okay. So you'd like to probe deeper.
Yes.
Okay. What is your spell save DC, Integrity Idleberry?
Spell save DC is 16.
Okay. So as you probe at Bailey's mind, at this dull pulsing of a brain, of a mind that you can feel within your own, as the effects of this spell take hold, as this potion seeps into your arcane ability, Integrity Idleberry, you probe deeply into Bailey Blue's mind, into that feeling of fear at or about Our Lady of the Deep. And the moment that your mind begins to plunge deeper, as you focus in on that singular emotion, on that singular thought, you feel like 100 voices ringing out in your head all at once. It sounds like that whispering that you had been hearing when you woke up from being poisoned, but amplified to be as loud as people talking in a busy thoroughfare. The just conversations happening. You can have a very difficult time parsing out individual thoughts. You hear some of them that are just worries and fear about being trapped in chairs and trapped in rooms. Where are we? What is happening? You hear others, people who are violently ill feeling, who feel as though their stomach is going to explode, as though their throat is burning, as though they are feeling like they are going to die, feeling like they are in the most pain they've ever felt in your life. You can single that one out to be just Efrosini very quickly, almost as if, Integrity, you are plunging deeper into Bailey's thoughts, and you are hearing all these other thoughts connected to him via the network through Our Lady of the Deep. As you listen closely and try to hone in on Bailey's thoughts specifically, do you ask him any further questions as an attempt to like isolate his mind out of the masses?
Would it be possible to key into just like the warlock connection?
Interesting.
Because like I would assume that out of like the amount of people in that like in the network, there it sort of like keys in or
Like the loudest voice here. Yeah. You listen. You feel as though your mind is surrounded by tens, almost 100 other minds, all talking as loudly as they possibly can. You hear people's inner thoughts. You hear people's inner fears. The people trapped, presumably, in Our Lady of the Deep's halls back in the divination department, those fears. And you try to tune those smaller voices out. You can succeed in doing so as you focus in on one loud voice, Bailey's thoughts, his mind trapped here in this maze of connections, this network of minds mapped together. And you hear him saying, you hear what his mind is saying. You hear the deeper thoughts going on in his head, the things that he cannot say out loud. You hear him, the things you hear. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. They can't win. Even if they break the tank, she can survive. She's connected to me. What if she uses me? What if she just takes back control of me? What if she uses Efrosini? And then, what if Yakov's not dead? What if those orbs that we gave to her, she trapped them. She dropped them in the tank. They're in the tank. What if those grant her power? They don't know about those. They couldn't possibly know that those are those could be there. What if DOS comes back and does something? They put something in DOS too. And then Integrity, you hear a voice in your head that cuts through that says, Integrity, Idleberry. How kind of you to drop back into the network. I didn't know that you missed us so dearly you were willing to peek through my servant's eyes. Where are you now? I see your mind, but it is like an oasis in a desert. I cannot place where you are. Where did you take my warlock? Where are you? Who's around?
I want to do like a mind battle here and try to think of the most obscure place in the world. Like,
Just start blasting music in your head.
Let's think of maybe the top of Spire Nebulosis. Just like the most random place.
Integrity.
Yes.
I need you, for me in that case, to make a
deception.
Oh, yeah. Make a deception check.
What were you gonna do?
The deception works.
You gotta
perfectly.
think. You have to make this thought so fucking convincing.
You do. You need to make this as convincing as possible, or else your mind will be locked on to. Yeah.
I'm gonna use the new high rolling dice, and hopefully that Sarah did not take the luck with her. And she did not. That's a nat 20.
Oh boy!
Plus deception 22.
A 22.
How did deception only 2?
I know it's not that much.
I thought it was higher. Wait, what?
But a nat 20 though, it's natural. It's not unnatural.
I'm less enthusiastic now.
You're about 10 short of what you needed.
Holy fuck!
Nat
Okay.
20?
Shit, we're gonna die.
She rolled an 18 on her insight. She gets
of course
plus 14 to that.
Okay.
So you're a bit short, Integrity. You try to think of the top of Spire Nebulosis, and you feel this mind pressing back into your own, the way you must have just done to Bailey and the network at large. You feel this mind, this Our Lady of the Deep, try her best to push into your head, and you feel as though your helmet is pushing back against her. And so instead of looking into your mind and trying to see through your ruse, or rather, as you try to conjure these thoughts of Nebulosis, these very surface level ideas, as she asks, where are you? She sees through your bluff and will understand why she cannot reach your mind. She'll go, oh, have you shielded your mind already against me? Found the electrum hidden in my lair and used it against me? No matter, there's others right near you who don't have such excellent shielding. You feel, Serenup Cinderman, with your brass circlet, you feel a mind push against yours. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please and thank you.
Fuck, apparently I am connected.
as the brass doesn't really cut it.
Shit. She already took
Figures.
over the entire water supply. Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's a 17?
You're one short.
Oh, no.
As she presses up against your mind integrity, you feel just as quickly as she came and tried to encroach into your mind palace, you feel it leave. And Serenup, you feel this overwhelming pressure push onto your mind and say, let me see through your eyes, young one. And in that moment, you feel like a very alien presence invade your brain, Serenup Syndrome. As you look and see your friends, as you think where you are and understand your sense of place, you betray your location to Our Lady of the Deep. And she goes, Bonzala's Cannon Lab, Evocation Department, locked within those room. You're closer than I thought you all were. And just like that, that alien presence leaves in an instant, Serenup Syndrome.
Are you okay? What happened?
Fuck, she knows.
Yeah.
Knows
Integrity, the potion leaves your mind, your eyes uncloud, and you see Serenup reeling as a psychic presence forced its way inside her head.
She's like forced. Oh, fuck, my head.
Are you alright? Are you okay?
Yeah, she forced her way inside my head.
Oh, shit.
She saw through my eyes. She knows where we are.
Let's go. We need to get out of here.
Maybe that potion wasn't such a good idea. We need to
Let's
start moving
let's go.
now.
Yeah.
As you guys start to move, jump to action, Serenup, you are steadying yourself maybe against one of these tables, holding it with one hand and the other hand on your forehead. You guys see just a trickle of blood coming from Serenup's nose, that overwhelming pressure pushing on her brain a bit too hard. Integrity, you might be standing here a bit dumbstruck with how bad things went. You see Bailey lying on that ground, all tied up. He has his blindfold on and he's shaking his head going, no, she knows where we are. You hear Efrosini retching horribly. And the keen-eyed among you, as you just gather your things, and begin to leave, might see water pouring in through the cracks in the ceiling. You see this saffron yellow-colored water, just almost like there's a leak or a overfilled bathtub right above this room. It starts to pour in through the cracks, through the crack underneath that door even, and slowly begins to just drip quickly onto the floor. What do the four of you want to do right now?
I think that we should run.
Yeah?
Probably the best idea for that, yep.
Are you going to leave Efrosini and Bailey here?
I don't think it's safe to leave them here, but I also don't think it's safe to take them with us.
There's no real good choice here. I'm less inclined to save Efrosini, but that's just me.
Okay.
Because I feel like no matter what we do, Efrosini is already kind of like a bit far gone, really.
Okay. Great, fantastic, wonderful train of thought that you have. Mira Marchand, you are in favor of leaving these people, of running, yes?
Yes.
Okay, you can be the first to act in that case, and that will inform the rest of it. Mira Marchand, you can run for the door as quickly as possible and pull it open with a lot of force. This heavy door moves slower than you are wanting it to. You need to get out now. The water trickling in underneath the door stops dead, but it comes in even faster from the walls, from the roof above you. You can see the rest of your friends kind of in this split decision. Winslow looks over at the other two, Serenup still with her head. And Mira, what do you say to your friends to get them out of this room right now?
We can't rush this. We have to come back for them later, or things are gonna get much, much worse for everybody. Come on.
Okay.
Serenup.
Winsler.
Oh, sorry.
Serenup. No, Serenup, what do you do?
I'm
Water
going...
is pouring in deeply. Mira is trying to motivate you guys to move a bit faster than you might be. What's going on?
In a panic and realizing that she can see through my eyes, I reach out and I go to like Integrity. I take her shoulder. I'm like, you have to guide me out of here. I'm going to cover my eyes to not have her follow us that way.
Okay. Serenup, you shut your eyes. Winsler, are you following Mira right now?
I'm going to follow. I have to.
Okay, Winsler, you scurry out that door. The water is probably just over the top of your shoes at this point. It is almost like a flood is coming from above you guys. And you can trot out. It's this saffron, bright yellow, briny fluid. Winsler, you run out. Serenup, you grab Integrity's shoulder and close your eyes. Mira, you can leave. Yes, leaving Integrity to guide Serenap out. And Integrity, as you leave, which I presume you would like to do.
Yeah.
Do you say anything to Bailey and Efrosini lying on the floor? The water's like covering up, almost pulling up to their faces as they lie there, blindfolded. The homunculus sits on Bailey's head still, looking kind of like worriedly as it grabs at his hair, watching you, its creator, leave.
Bailey, it's safest for you to be with her right now. We'll find a way to find you. I'm gonna save you.
Integrity Idleberry, as you say, I'm going to save you, and move to run out of this room as quick as you can. You see the water grows deeper and deeper and deeper in this room. It almost seems as if it's magically stopping at the door, as if there's some barrier keeping it in here, and you can run out as quickly as possible. Right before you slam the door to the Cannon Lab and get the hell out of here, all 4 of you safely in the hallway already, you hear the sounds of, I don't know, something tearing open in that room. Something almost like you've heard this sound before, like a rift in space tearing open inside that room. And you can slam the door very quickly. And in a second, the sound of water trickling, the sound of a rift in space tearing open, of Efrosini heaving is all gone, as the Cannon Lab is perfectly insulated for noise. You're standing in this hallway right outside, and I would assume you would like to be moving very quickly.
Yes. Yeah, I think toward the archives, as Winsler said.
Yeah. We need to go as fast as we can.
Perfect. Mira, you can lead the way. Team leader Mira in this moment. Behind you, Winsler can run. Your shoes are soaked, dude. And Serenep, you can hold on to Integrity's shoulder as she also leads you along with the pack. Ooh, this is a cool time. As you guys run out of the evocation department, making your way directly or further into the campus towards the archives looming at the back of campus, you run past the necromancy department, past the pathway to like the old chapel, your wonderful office, and you're running up towards this the archives, trying as fast as you can. Staring up, your eyes are completely shut. You feel this coldness around you. You might be feeling very worried. You don't feel that alien pressure pushing on your mind, but still the worry is there that it could that Our Lady of the Deep could exert herself upon you at any moment. As you are all running, Mira leading the way, you will see, coming from a familiar hole in the wall, as it were, there's a large archway, the concourse, you might know it as. You see the door is glowing. It's a small wooden door. And as it opens, Mira Marchand, you see a familiar face, maybe a wonderful face to see in this moment, walk out of it with a kind of very disheveled air about her, as you see a very bent out of shape Delnus Wraithrin kind of rush through the door. As soon as she does, she makes eye contact with you, Mira, and her hands are like almost shaking as she runs up to the group of the 4 of you, and she'll say, something poisoned me last night.
We know.
I just woke up. I went home and I fell. I just fell in as soon as I got home. I went unconscious and I just woke up. What's happening?
Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Do you hear anything in your mind? And I'm going to like just very gently like take her by the shoulders,
Absolutely.
Just in like a very comforting way.
Yes, she is shaking, Mira, as she was like almost reaching out for you, and like you can rush over to her and grab her by the shoulders, and she'll say, "No, I don't hear anything in my mind. I don't know what happened. What's going on?" Integrity was at the sorry, I don't mean to I do this to you, Integrity, but Integrity was there last night at the Hedrick Society for Excellence with me and Winsler and Serenep, and I don't know where you were, Mira, but I think something terrible happened there last night.
The brain of Henrietta Hedrick is under the school. She's controlling people. She turned Bailey into a warlock, and we have to fight her right now because things are getting really, really bad, and hopefully that's going to free everybody from the control that they're under. We're trying to go to the archives right now to get the help of the Modrons. We're going to go down there. Bailey said we can't fight her, but we have to. We don't really have another choice, and I really don't want you to get hurt.
Are you trying to persuade her to... Tell me what your intent is. Yeah. What do you want to happen here, Mira?
I want her to, like... I want 2 things. I want her to be comforted in the sense of understanding what's going on here, and I also want her to, like... basically that thing of like lock yourself in your room for like an hour and keep yourself safe, because I don't want, one thing that I really don't want is like Henrietta / Our Lady of the Deep like making an army out of people she's poisoned and then we have to fight them. You know what I mean? I want her to not be in that situation.
Make a persuasion roll check for me, please and thank you.
Nice little persuasion roll for me.
I have a plus 13 to this. I rolled a 6, so that's a 19.
Okay.
Ooh.
As you grab her by the shoulders, as you try your best to comfort her, to like try to get her to get somewhere safe almost, telling her this is the terrible thing that is happening. There's this terrible creature beneath the campus. You know the drill. You do feel her stop shaking. She looks at you incredibly disheveled. Her hair is an absolute mess. Mira, it looks like truly she just she went unconscious on the floor and just woke up moments ago. She might not even have drool like smeared across her cheek. And she will grab you on your like forearms as you like hold onto her shoulders, and she says, I don't want to, no, I'm coming with you no matter what.
Delnus, I'm really scared. She was controlling Bailey. That there was a debate, and Bailey.
There's nothing in my head.
Somebody.
She's not in whatever it is. It's not in control of me. I'm fine. I went back to my house. I was fine. I nothing happened. I was just unconscious. I was poisoned, but I'm doing fine. I am a lot better than you're giving me credit for right now.
May I insight check? Like, I want to know if there is like if there is something pushing on her brain telling her to say this, like if she believes what she's saying, if there are any signs of like networkification.
Yeah, make an insight check, please.
Okay.
I don't like where this is going.
It's a better roll. It's a 15 plus 4. Same end result, though, also a 19.
Yeah. This is Delnus. This
Okay.
is Delnus talking to you. This is the same Delnus that you have had so many nights with, so many conversations with, are in a bit of a tumultuous patch right now.
Yeah.
But this is still Delnus, your girlfriend, talking to you, and she says, I'm a lot better right now, a lot more in control than you think I am. I'm
Okay.
I can't tell you how much of a help I would be.
Okay.
If there's something terrible going on, please bring me with you.
Okay, that's fair. It's just that I watched Bailey literally just get controlled and try to stab somebody, so I'm not going to say no if you want to come along, but I do want you to understand that we are about to fight something really, really, really dangerous, and it's your choice. I know that you want to come along with these things.
Mira, it would be, listen to me. It would be more dangerous for all of you if I am not there. Trust me.
Okay, I trust you. Come with us.
Okay. As this conversation happens, Sereneth, is there something you want?
I'm keeping my eyes closed. I have to tell Delnus, like, Delnus, I'm not in that thing too, but I just got like brain slammed by whatever the fuck is going on. Like it doesn't matter if you aren't in it. This thing can get into your head. It just did it to me a few minutes ago.
She shrugs. And
I don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see it. The rest of you do. She has this like the expression on her face, Mira, is one of like it feels like there's kind of like some sort of like thing that she wants to say, some sort of consolation or some sort of way to convince you guys that this is not a problem. But she resigns herself and shrugs and says, I'll be on my best guard. My mind's very strong. Trust me.
I trust you.
I believe you too.
Mira, you say, I trust you, in a moment of like eye contact, and then integrity popping over your shoulder goes, I also believe you.
I'm afraid.
Nonetheless, Mira, Winsler, Integrity, Sereneth, Delnus will accompany you guys.
Okay.
Sereneth with your eyes closed. And as you guys rush off towards the archives. It's a very quiet day. It's a very quiet afternoon on the third day of the semester when you guys rush into the archives. Sereneth, you still do not feel any pressure on your head. Are you still keeping your eyes closed just as a safeguard?
There's too much paranoia in the fact that she can just go into my head at any point, and it's
absolutely
like I think at some point Sereneth like takes like the whole thing we did earlier with like ripping and like making a blindfold. I think she does that with her own robe to like just
wonderful,
just in case, because she's like not taking a chance.
Okay. So the four of you, the five of you with Delness, bust through those doors calmly, maybe a bit nervous or anxious, hastily, and can enter into the archives. You see maybe 2 or 3 students looking around at these like entryway like chairs where people sit. There's like not a lot of people here. You look at the front desk, and the archive attendant, archivist Ava Redding is nowhere to be seen. There is a few Modrons doing busy work, pushing carts around in like the main area of the archive. If you want to enter like 50 feet away, you can run up to them if you would like. Just 2 spherical little constructs clicking at each other with a lot of contempt for one another, it seems. Although, you're not versed in the dialect, could be just a thing. But nonetheless, these 2 Modrons, archive assistants, putting books away with their flapping little wings, and they're flying up to the 7th shelf and putting things away, coming back down to the cart, clicking at each other 2 or 3 times, and then the lot of you will run up, and they will regard you with careful eyes for a couple moments.
You have no idea how happy I am to come across y'all. We have a bit of a situation on our hands. Are you familiar with the Modron that I like? Who they had a brain rat in a jar, and they went off somewhere in search of something.
One of the Modrons, the brassy one, they kind of have a little bit of like greenish corrosion around their joints. They like snap their little metallic fingers, and they go click, 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 and then they do like a little hand gesture of like someone swinging a little sword around, and then they'll point at you.
That's right. We got the situation is much worse than we thought. We know what's controlling the rats and what's been stealing the knowledge from the archives.
They both look at you quite seriously at this point, Winsler. They'll both, the other one, very much newer looking, shiny. They don't seem to have any corrosion about them. Just one big giant eye with no eyebrow, no eyelashes, regards the lot of you a bit more suspiciously than this older corroded Modron. The older one crosses its arms and will say to you, click, 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 and then again do that like swinging a sword gesture. And then do like a very tiny, that's teeny tiny with their fingers, almost like, they're trying to communicate their best, Winsler.
I'm going to like take my hands and they make a wide gesture, like it's
like big problem,
like this big problem.
The Modrons turn to one another and click back and forth for some time, and then they like scratch their heads. Then the older one will open a book on this cart and just splay it open. It seems to be some old text talking about like it's like 700 pages on this very specific herb called like the Miraculum. It's some sort of like fern that grows elsewhere on the continent. It's an entire just work about this thing though, and they'll go through the pages. And as they do, when they find a word that they want to say, they'll point at it for you, Winsler. So as they flip through like 100 different pages looking for the thing to say, they'll say something along the lines of, great power off to the east, already dealt with. And then they'll look at you as if that solves everything. And then they do that very teeny hand gesture again, like tiny. And then they flip to it another page that goes, small outcome expected.
I am going to try another plan to convince them. Let's see. Will prestidigitation allow me to do that, I wonder? I guess I could do minor illusion.
Okay.
So I'm going to take out a bit of fleece, and I'm going to use minor illusion consecutively to show that here's the Modron that with the little sword that went off to go defeat the big bad.
Both of them like raise their hands and point at it and then do like the little sting motion.
And then I'm going to show them a picture of a giant brain in a vat that is like 10 times the size of this fucking Modron. And then I'm going to show a picture of the Modron crushed to bits.
Their eyes widen as much as a single eye on both of these spherical Modrons can. The eyes widen, and they'll put a hand up to their mouths in shock, and then like say a couple of clicks between the two of them. Winsler Wallaby, make a persuasion check with advantage, please.
Okay, this is
It's
not going to go
Winsler's
well.
first movie.
It's my movie. It's my motion picture. That was probably the most extreme I've ever rolled. I rolled a nat 1 for the first one.
Damn.
And I rolled a nat 20 for the second one.
Oh my
God.
fucking god.
So that is a 21 total.
Okay. Tell me what you want from these Modrons. Because they will be persuaded by this argument. They have just you've told them, this is your great champion. This is the threat. It will destroy it.
Can you have at least a good number of you come help us deal with this situation? We are off to go deal with it right now, but we can't do it alone. We need some help. Any help that you can provide, we need it. Anything at all.
The corroded one starts to click, and then the new shiny one will like shake its head being its entire body, vigorously, and then put up like a hand. They click back and forth, with a lot of contempt between them. And this time you know for certain that this is an argument that they are having. The older one will turn to the younger one, clicking and throwing its hands about as if it's telling a grand story. You guys, this is not a language you speak. This is far beyond your capacity.
I'm gonna have to learn Modron at some point.
You should. And after some time, it seems as if this older, corroded Modron has won them over, and they will look at you and put up one little brassy finger, and then with their little wings, they will fly up, and away, off to like the top section of the archives, where the Modrons reside.
Fear is real.
What to give you?
Oh boy.
30 Modrons?
Oh, dude. I don't think there's that many in the school.
We don't know. There could be like a beehive where there's like a bunch of them.
Oh my god, they live in the walls.
You guys wait here for some time as this older Modron seems to have just up and left you guys, just run into the back room when a customer comes in, that kind of vibe. It's probably 9-10 minutes that you wait before you see this thing flying back down towards you, and you see in its hands like this very long spear made of brass. As it lands on the ground, it will walk up to you, Winsler, and hold up to you this spear. It is like the perfect size to be fitting with your height, as a side note, because the Modrons are very similarly heighted to you. It hands you this spear with this very long, very carved, like there's so many runes carved into the tip of this spear, Winsler, that it seems quite arcane in its makeup. The Modron clicks a couple times, will walk back over to this kind of like botanical guide, and will flip through the pages and will find words that to convey what it has given you, which are threat to, and then he'll flip to a page where it has some of the effects of this wonderful plant when mixed into a paste, and it goes nervous system, and then he flips another page, and he will say, he kind of clips a couple times and will like point to himself, point to the other Modron, and then kind of be flipping for a bunch of times, and then he'll find like a map, and he'll look over it for some time before finding a one marking on it that is just, and he'll point to it, and you can look, and on this map there's marked like a temple to Estar, and he'll tap on that a couple of times. You can make an Arcana check if you would like, Winslow.
I'm gonna have to make an Arcana check.
Or a religion. You guys can all make this.
Yeah,
Arcana or religion.
Let's work our brains.
You can
Is Dallas also making
nervous
one?
system.
Threat to nervous system, and then he goes tap, 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 tap on a temple of Estar marked on a map.
18.
18.
14 plus 4.
Okay. And that's religion or Arcana?
Arcana, sorry.
I imagine
Okay.
someone's like
I only have a plus 2.
imagine someone's translating to Serenep
Yeah.
of what's happening, so I'm gonna also do this. Oh, fuck,
Winsler,
yes.
integrity?
I got a 17 for religion.
Okay.
That's a 25.
Okay, for Arcana?
Arcana, yeah.
Sick. And integrity, Albert?
I got 18.
Okay. You guys can put it together. It's combined with like your classes that you've taken, combined with your general knowledge of the arcane and divine worlds, combined with him going like tap, 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 big threat, and bringing you this weapon when you've described to him or described to these Modrons what a cataclysmic event is waiting for them. It seems as though they've given you some sort of holy spear of Estar, some sort of artifact that they keep here that to use against, great threats to Modron kind.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Serenep with a 25, just like the fact that they keep tapping on the map, the Temple of Estar, leads you to believe that this is like some sort of very blessed weapon of a kind, something that could not be very good at. I can tell you this kind of like thing pops up all the time in religious texts. Weapons or items that are blessed by the gods for a single purpose, and then after which they will be just turned to ash, right?
Okay.
So it seems to be some sort of weapon that would deal a hefty blow, but once.
It would be a one-time use, so we would have to be so careful with when it's used.
So a big hit, make it count.
Exactly.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds good enough for me. Thank you so much. We'll make sure to make good use of it. We'll do our best.
The corroded Modron will walk over and try to grab your hand, Winsler. Will you let it?
I'll let it grab my hand, sure.
It grabs your hand and then grasps it with two little, very cold hands, and will click 6 or 7 times. Its eye shuts. The other younger Modron, its eye also shuts, and it clicks, kind of like along, as if they are saying something together, as like a kind of like blessing. It might be Winsler Wallaby. And then when they release your hands,
I never thought our relationship would get to this point.
you really brought it back.
Redemption arc.
These Modrons impart onto you with their clicks and ritualistic giving to you of a spear. They don't particularly care that you are the one to use the spear. They just give you this great weapon of theirs.
Right.
And you will gain the benefit called dedication.
Oh.
For the next 24 hours, whenever you make a saving throw, add a d4 to it.
Oh.
Nice.
It's not much. Maybe it'll save your life, though.
Listen,
There you go.
anything comes in handy, really.
Wonderful. And as they finish this incantation, and Winslow, you feel this very divine energy course through your like chest. They will let go of it, and they will wave at you all with clicks and very open, very worried eyes. What the hell do y'all want to do now?
I think it's time, isn't it?
I guess it is.
Yep.
How are we feeling?
I'm feeling kind of good right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what, but I feel like I got a little bit of a spring in my step. I feel like we can do this if we try really hard.
I'm working my way back up to opening my eyes again.
Delnus will speak up and say, "Are all of you feeling okay?"
I mean,
Like-
my bones are pretty achy from jumping off the window. But
What I'm asking is, do you need healing? I can't do much, but
Maybe just a little.
maybe just a
tiny
little.
bit.
Anything helps.
I got hit.
I didn't get hit at the debate, so no worries.
I got hit. I'm like, but I like any little bit, honestly. Yeah.
She'll
had-
pull you off to like the a side aisle of this archive where it's a bit quieter, where it's out, like the space is not so, open. And she's going to cast this spell 3 times, which I hope doesn't do horrible things to her. But nonetheless. Mira, have you seen this once before?
Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
Oh no.
You see, she puts a hand on. First, she'll begin with you, Winsler. Put a hand upon your shoulder, and you see around her eyes, like these dark black kind of like the veins around her eyes, like this dark black kind of color begins to appear in them, and it does not disappear anytime soon. As she's going to cast Life Transference 3 times for you guys.
Yikes.
Whoa. I imagine she has a lot of health.
for
She's
you-
older than us by a couple.
Certainly,
Yeah.
she has a lot of
Yeah.
health. Winsler Wallaby, you regain 22 HP.
That's so much more than I need.
And then she'll move to you, Integrity Eye Idleberry, and you can regain 30 HP.
Okay.
You see the second time she casts this, around her hands, they become wrinkly, like those of an elderly person. Her face, the skin kind of draws tight. And finally, for Cinderman, that's going to be 32 HP
Oh,
for you,
wow.
Serenif. And as she does this one, you hear her breath become a lot more ragged, and she just kind of takes a very
Whoa, Delnus, are
forced
you
breath.
okay?
Mira, you can help her steady herself as she kind of reels backwards after it, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. That took a lot more out of me than I was expecting."
Here,
what's going on? Is
don't-
Delnus okay?
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Delnus.
Oh,
Just at first level. I'm going to
Okay.
just put my hand on her shoulder and be like, "You're important too." And she can recover.
Aw.
D8 plus 5. 6 plus 5, she can recover 11 hit points.
Cure wounds?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Mira Marchand.
Oh, dear.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
What?
You put your hand on your girlfriend's shoulder.
Ruh-roh.
Try to steady her after she has exerted herself. And as you begin to cast the spell, she almost might try to pull away from you. You cast your wounds and feel that energy. You feel the manipulation of the energy in the air around you as you've felt so many times, and you try to pour it into her, and you do not feel it at all help or go into her whatsoever. And she will pull away from you as quickly as she can.
Whoa. Are you good? What just happened?
Oh, I'm fine. I think it's just something about like the life transference. I just,
Oh.
I feel ill.
I tried to heal you, but it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she looks away from you. I think it's something about life transference. I think maybe it might I don't know, take it out of you permanently. I'm still fine to go. I'm still fine to go with you.
Are you sure? Delmas, I respect your choice. I do. One last time, because you said that before you got all hurt. Are you sure?
I'm 100% certain, Mira. You
Okay.
are in so much more danger without me than you are with me.
You're right. Okay.
Her face looks like the skin has drawn tight, Mira.
Mhm.
She bears an uncanny resemblance to her mother right now, in a way that might be very like uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
The amount of necrotic damage that she has just sustained to herself is very visible on her face.
Yeah. To be totally honest, I think Mira is not fully she doesn't entirely have full confidence that Delmas is going to be safe and helpful in this fight, but part of it is this thing of she's mad at me and I need to show her that I respect her choices even if I don't necessarily agree with them.
Yeah.
So it's all
Yeah.
right, this is happening.
I respect your choices even if
wonderful.
I don't respect your choices.
So, Windsor Wallaby, are you going to carry this spear or are you going to hand it off to one of your friends?
I'm going to carry the spear.
Okay,
Hell yeah, it must be
wonderful.
so big on Winslow.
It looks
It is
so
the
good on
perfect
Winsler.
height
It's
for Windsor.
perfect.
It is this brass spear with a gold tip, tons of religious etchings into it. It feels light in your hands, Winsler. It must be no heavier than a leaf, right? Just miraculous. And the 5 of you, I presume, are going to leave the archives. And
Yep.
and Integrity and Winsler, are you going to lead your friends to the divination tower to do this?
It's our duty. We got to do it. It's now or never.
Wonderful. As you exit the front doors of the archives, Mira, this worry in your head, I don't trust her, but I'm going to trust her because, we're on thin ice and that kind of worry. Sereneth, still this paranoia as you're blindfolded, being walked out by your cousin of what if she just looks through my eyes again and I give up the entire goat. This is that mounting worry, in your stomach, just those flutters almost coming up. And then Winslow Wallaby and Winslow, you feel filled with this very divine energy. You feel warmed up. You feel rejuvenated by Delnis's magic. And finally, Integrity Idleberry. Where's your head at?
Where's my head at?
Yeah, as you guys walk out of the archives and hastily make your way to the front of campus, right by the cliff, back to the divination tower.
Yes.
Where's your head at?
My head is at how being torn between my duty to the school and the safety of the school and my friends and my safety, and my duty to the warlocks and my duty to save them from going down that path.
As you walk, your head fills with this. The eaves of the nearby buildings fill with birds as they call out I, and the occasional beep beep that fills your head again. Integrity Idleberry, as the 5 of you walk quickly across campus. Integrity, your mind is consumed with the thoughts of warlocks. Your mind is consumed with the thoughts of, is there something I can do? Your mind is consumed with the thought of, I need to get what belongs to me back from Our Lady of the Deep. You know in your mind, because you checked with Bailey in the Detect Thoughts,
That it's there.
you know that your orbs are there. You know that they are in Our Lady of the Deep's briny tank, presumably sitting at the bottom of it. And as you might reflect on your orbs for a moment, I think you feel a very sick tremor go up your spine. And right around the time that you guys enter into like the open field in front of all those towers, there's an open field. There's a little fountain with little obelisks that a year ago almost, you guys went under and went before the council and gave all those things. This is where you are. And Integrity, the moment you guys enter into this field, this clearing, this courtyard of a sorts, I need you. Let me find where this is written.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Fear.
I don't need you to make me a saving throw.
Mhm.
I need you to roll 1d4 for me.
1d4.
Yeah.
That was a 3.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. As you're all walking, Sereneth, this might be the easiest for you to discern. You're not relying on your eyes. You are relying exclusively on your hand on Integrity's shoulder. Integrity, you feel this tremor down your spine. You hear a voice in the back of your head. Not Our Lady of the Deep, but a more well-known, much less welcome, maybe, voice. Just kind of whisper in your ear of, "You've been without your orb for so very long. You might march now to your own death and give up control of progress to this foul creature. Even now, she pulls at the threads of my mind, trying to find what I am, what is lurking beneath the hatch. She has so many of those orbs. My warlock, horned one. She has so many of them, and you've been without for so long." Integrity Idleberry,
Yes,
you have lost the orb of progress.
I have.
How old are you right now?
I am.
Uh-oh.
She's 19. We both turned 19 a few weeks ago.
You're 19? Yeah, you need to turn 19 a couple weeks ago. Integrity, right?
Yes,
Back on the moon.
I do remember that.
What did 16-year-old Integrity Idleberry look like?
What did 16-year-old Integrity Idleberry look like?
Yeah.
She lost her tooth from fighting
Mhm.
with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like one of her like pointy tooth.
Canines, yeah.
Yes. So she actually has a fake.
Oh,
One
the
of like a
Integrity
fake
line.
canines
Yeah.
right now.
Was she a bit shorter than she is now?
She was a bit shorter.
Yeah.
Her hair was. She had like a bowl cut.
Okay.
Oh, no.
In that case, Serenep, you're the first to feel this as your hand almost feels like it drops 3 inches.
What?
As you grasp Integrity's shoulder. You feel much less muscle on her shoulder. Integrity, you feel like a breeze wash over you, and you are now 16 years old again. You've lost 3 years of your age.
Integrity, what's
Pretty
happening?
simply. The others of you can turn and look at her. She's shorter. She has a bowl cut. She's missing her teeth. She might have a bit more acne on her face.
What?
Whoa, what just happened?
Integrity?
Integrity, what happened? You feel different.
I was just speaking to the progenitor, and because I lost the orb, I'm 16 again.
Oh,
What?
God.
Integrity, until you get your orb back, you're going to be making every check, every saving throw, every attack with a -3.
Oh, that
Damn.
sucks.
Okay.
Can I give my blessing over to Integrity?
As you all see her younger than you are used to seeing, Integrity, you feel this strange coldness over you, almost like the progenitor is watching you right now from wherever it is. And the 5 of you can quickly rush on to the base of the divination tower, asking Integrity if she's all right, reassuring her that she's fine. Integrity mentions the progenitor was just speaking to me. Before the conversation can continue, you feel a great shaking beneath your feet. Integrity, Winsler,
Yes.
this shaking feels familiar. You felt it just this morning when you were locked away in Our Lady of the Deep's halls. You see the divination tower in front of you shaking itself. You feel the ground underneath shaking. This great rumbling of everything. And as you walk up, maybe 30 feet away from the divination tower, you see a crack forms a seam almost. Similar, Integrity and Winsler, to that door that you had exited out of. A seam seems to crack down the middle of the tower, and the bricks begin to fall to the ground. As this rumbling continues, the ground shakes. There are small patches of earth that might push up or bubble up almost as if there is air pushing up from underneath the grass. Could you all make dexterity saving throws to keep on your feet?
-3, right?
With a -3 integrity.
I get +4 at least.
You do. Plus a d4.
Oh, plus a d4, right?
15 total.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's an 11.
13.
13, 11, 15. Integrity, Owlberry? Delna's got a 5.
God, we're all dead.
You're gonna be so much worse without me around. You need me for this fight.
Topples over. Okay. Integrity?
I got 24.
A 24. Integrity, you keep your feet as you feel Serenep, you feel the ground shake beneath you, and you just you all fall over as it shakes. It's almost like an earthquake beneath your feet. And all of you without blindfolds on can see this divination tower crack open. You see tentacles pushing their way through the bricks, almost trying to open the divination tower like a door. And they begin to, first 1 or 2 tentacles, large, maybe like 10 feet in diameter, press through the bricks, crashing through the bricks, sending them flying down towards the 5 of you on the field. 2 or 3 more tentacles, smaller, join, and just this creature, this elder brain, Our Lady of the Deep. You see her begin to force this tower itself open as she makes a hole for herself to enter onto campus.
Oh no.
And as you see her tentacles cracking the stone, you see this tower begin to collapse around her as she, with her tentacles, pulls herself out. As the 5 of you are standing here, 4 of you fallen onto the ground and unable to stand up at the moment due to the continued rumbling, the quaking earth. Everyone who fell, could you please just take 3 bludgeoning damage from the bricks falling around you? And finally, after 10 or 15 seconds, you see this immense brain begin to pull itself up and out of this mess of bricks, this collapsing building, as you all see Our Lady of the Deep emerging without her vat of water, and you feel this immediate, aggressive presence, this alien presence exerting itself onto all of you. You hear a voice that rings out almost in your own skulls. Not so much you, Winsler and Integrity, but definitely you, Serenep, and maybe you, Mira, a bit less, especially from that nearby body of water. It rumbles loudly and says, "Oh, the 4 of you. Oh, and an extra visitor come to greet me on my arrival to campus. Are you here to show me around? Are you here to show me down to the hatch itself where I might find our friend?" Our Lady of the Deep seems to have emerged from her lair, primed to get a tour from you guys, or maybe, if you want, fight her next time. But that's for next time on Trials and Trebuchets. For now, we'll end here.
We're gonna
4
die
of you on the ground, and Integrity, 16 years old,
Oh my
standing
God,
up.
so much is happening.
Carla, could you give us an outro, please?
Yes. Hi, I'm the 16-year-old Integrity Addleberry saying, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. Don't forget to leave a rating or a review on our iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast. If you also are not into commenting and putting your name out there, please share us to your friends. It truly means a lot to us. We don't do a lot of, advertising outside of that. So sharing us with your friends really helps us out a lot. We also have an Instagram and Twitter at Trials and Trebs. We also have a Discord server. You can find a link to that below, where you can talk to a bunch of people that enjoy the podcast. They're a bunch of cool people. And last but not the least, we have a Patreon. There's 2 things. We have a Patreon, and you can find the link to that down below as well, where you can donate money to keep the lights running in the recording booth.
Yeah. Yeah. In exchange, you can get blooper reels, you can get Patreon NPCs such as F. Rossini. Yeah, patreon.com/trials and trebs to donate over there. Every bit helps. Thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if we're, there's also merch.
Merch? Where?
Where?
You can find that at
Tremors.com. Made us say it. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, stickers, shirt, tons of stuff. Tremors.com. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode 200. The worst was averted in this episode, for which I am thankful. However, I think what is to come might be a bit harder as a consequence. Thank you, everyone, for listening for the past 200 episodes. It means 1,000 things to us. It makes me very emotional. And I will see you next week for the likely finale of this arc.
All right.
Farewell.
Farewell, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.